Hey there, folks. Today I'm going to introduce you to the bush classroom. You see that? Right in there. I do a lot of work in there.
I'm an outdoor educator and I teach people about the living world around them. I do plant and mushroom identification and ecology courses, forest ecology classes, medicinal mushroom classes, etc. And a lot of that takes place right here where I'm sitting in this beautiful outdoor space in the middle of the Central Ontario forest.
Yep, no exaggeration whatsoever. It's literally in the middle of the forest. I'm going to show it to you today, and I want to invite you out here this summer or fall. And here it is. Oh man, I love this place. I love what it represents. I love all the things that happen here, the learning, the wide eyes, the curious minds. And I love the relationships that start right here with the hundreds of students that come to see me every season.
Hey YouTube guys, sorry, I'm just getting my hat on straight here. I'm out doing a little bit of maintenance in the bush classroom out on my property in Haliburton, Ontario. And it just occurred to me, I've never showed you this space before, and I actually probably haven't done a great job on this channel quite yet explaining what I do, what this channel is really all about, etc. Other than the very first video that I made on this channel, which I will link down in the description below, and maybe it'll pop up at the end of this video as well. The very first video I made on this channel was sort of an introduction to who I am, but you know, you're all new here. None of you, or not many of you, are coming over from my Instagram, it would appear, which is a much bigger account, so you don't really know what I'm all about, and I want to make sure that that's clear and that, you know, what's happening here on the channel, what you can expect in the future is super clear. So as you can see right now, I'm sitting in what I refer to as the bush classroom. It's where a lot of what I do takes place. I'm an outdoor educator and I teach people about the living world around them. I do plant and mushroom identification and ecology courses, forest ecology classes, medicinal mushroom classes, etc. And a lot of that takes place right here where I'm sitting in this beautiful outdoor space in the middle of the Central Ontario forest. And just in case you think I'm exaggerating or that's hyperbole of some kind, I'm going to throw up my drone and give you an overhead view of this spot. We really are in the middle of the forest for all of my workshops that take place in Haliburton. It's not an exaggeration. We're in the middle of a forest, and it's a great place to learn about the forest and to learn about wild mushrooms and native plants and the ecology that encompasses all of that. It's a little windy. I hope I can even get the drone up.
Seriously, look at this spot. I get people that come from all over the province and neighboring provinces and even from abroad just to spend a little time with me here. And of course, learning about nature is the primary draw, but doing it right in nature is pretty special.
Yeah, while I was out here, you know, just starting to clean up and get things ready for students, I thought this would be a great opportunity to give you a little bit of an idea, like a tiny little idea of what the experience is like when you come to take a workshop or a class with me in this beautiful outdoor kind of magical place. So the workshops generally are a little bit nerdy at the beginning, right? In the classroom portion or the seminar portion, you're gonna have to take a few notes, etc. But trust me, it's worth it. Cool people always show up to these things. There's a ton of time for questions and answers. There's usually a bunch of laughs. So trust me when I tell you, while I'm trying to like cram information into your brain, you're gonna be having a good time while that happens. And then generally how it goes is the second half of most of my classes or workshops are what we refer to as a practicum, where you've just learned a bunch of either identification and or ecology skills. You've learned a little bit about the plants, the mushrooms, whatever. Actually, you've learned a whole lot about them. I try to stuff a ton of information into your head during these things. I want to really make sure it's worth the ticket price when you come to see me on this property. But then we go out into the forest, and then we just use those skills that you learned to identify whatever plants or mushrooms we run into, and I tell you a whole lot more about them once we're actually out into the forest. And we'll go for a little walk in a bit, and I'll kind of give you an idea of like the sort of like really informal practicum forest walks that we do after the classroom portion of most of these seminars is over. I don't do foraging walks here on the property. I teach people a lifelong skill. I teach you the skills to be able to harvest wild plants and mushrooms safely for yourself. I kind of feel like, you know, there's a place for that. Foraging walks are super cool, especially when you're first learning or you're first getting introduced to foraging or the outdoors in general. But that's not what I do here. Every single one of my classes is designed as a set of skills and ethical principles that allow you to literally walk out of here and build upon for the rest of your life. These are lifelong skills that will allow you to fill baskets safely, ethically, and confidently. And it's worth noting every single class and workshop that I offer comes with an old school like caveman piece of paper handout that you get to take home with you. That's why I provide pens and pencils for people, or encourage you to bring one. You can take a ton of notes on there. You can ask questions and write down the answers, and then have all that information to take home with you and refer back to as long as you need to while you're learning. There's too many glowing rectangles in our lives to start with. Paper, man, it's still cool no matter what all the kids are tweeting about. Oh yeah, and full disclosure, the Basement Boy shows up to pretty much every single workshop that I do. You let me know in advance if you're like allergic or something, but he is gonna bug you and hang around. He loves people. He also comes out to pretty much every hike we do after every single workshop. He loves it out here. He's a forest boy.
He's so sleepy. What a good boy.
So seriously, if you're at all curious or want to learn more about nature and the outdoors and wild plants and wild mushrooms and forest ecology, medicinal mushrooms, any of that stuff, come on up and see me sometime in Haliburton. I am admittedly a little biased because I live here, but the Haliburton Highlands are one of the most beautiful places in Ontario, if not the entire world. Again, that's my bias coming through probably. Totally worth the trip up here. Come on up. Make a weekend of it. You don't want to go down to the States right now, do you? And now I'm going to take you on a little walk into the forest right here in the vicinity of the Bush Classroom, just to give you an idea of what we'll be hiking into when the classroom or seminar portion of these workshops is over. It's pretty sweet in here. I'll drop a booking link down in the description where you can go and read a whole lot more about it. There's a ton more information on the website. And hey, I hope to see you sometime this summer or fall right here in the Bush Classroom. And FYI, if you're coming for a plant identification workshop, for example, there are hundreds of native species growing right here on the site of the Bush Classroom. And if you're coming to study wild mushrooms with the mushroom guy, there are more wild mushroom species in maybe an acre or two of this little Bush Classroom than most people have seen in their entire lives. No joke.
Look at those beauties.
Man, not only does the forest look so stunning in the summer, it smells amazing. Wish I could broadcast in smell-o-vision. I want you to smell that.
Yeah, whether we're studying wild plant identification or the use of plants as food and medicine, or whether we're studying the forest itself and its ecology, or whether we're studying wild mushrooms, which is my absolute favorite subject. I'm totally obsessed with them. I can go on about them for hours at a time if I'm not careful. Wild mushrooms are the weirdest, craziest little dudes in nature. They're endlessly fascinating, and me and the Basement Boy love taking people out to see them and understand them a little better.
That was good, eh, buddy? It's hot today.
And don't kid yourself, he's the real expert, and he always leads us right back here, right where every workshop begins and ends, the Bush Classroom.
New YouTube friends, I hope you enjoyed that little look at the Bush Classroom. I got a booking link down below. I hope to see some of you this summer, and stay tuned. I've got a ton of mushroom hunting and foraging videos coming up. I got fishing videos, home cooking videos, you name it. Stay tuned every Thursday at 7. Cheers.
Thanks for sticking around all the way to the end of the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit the bell icon for notifications. Do me a solid and chuck a like up on here. And hey, if you have taken one of my workshops in the past, do me a favor. Drop your thoughts about the one you took in the comments section below and let folks know how you felt about it. Much appreciated. See you next Thursday at 7 p.m.